What's up, y'all? This video is not going to be like most of my other videos. I think it's going to be entirely unedited. I want to post it tonight because I always get these ideas for videos where I could just sit down and talk about my pure, unfiltered thoughts as they come straight to my mind. Right now it's about like 10, almost 11 o'clock at night, and I was just thinking about how I wasted this entire day. This entire day of today, which is likely the day that this video is going to go up, I have wasted. Well, not all the entire day, but most of my free time that I had for this whole day, I have wasted. I even I even told one of my friends that I'm gonna skip the gym today because I'm gonna record some videos to get that out of the way. I want to be productive. I ended up not doing that for the entire afternoon after I got home from work from around 5 o'clock. So this entire day, around 4 to 5 hours of free time, I have wasted entirely. And then the whole point of this video, that's the backstory. The whole point of this video is me kind of explaining this concept that I had. The concept is all the reasons why I'm gonna fail. I think it's important to put this kind of video out, all the reasons why I'm gonna fail, because it gives a realistic side to be honest, what all social media, everyone in social media who wants to make it is going to face at some point, including you if that's what you want to do, and especially myself, because that's kind of my goal. The main first thought that I had was like, everybody, let me give you some more backstory now. Something I thought about recently is how everybody these days wants to be big in something. Everybody wants to be big in something. Everybody wants to be the next big streamer. Everybody wants to be the next big YouTuber, the next big Instagram influencer. And that's only the people that are in social media, right? Aside from that, people who are going to jobs, people who are going to college full-time and stuff like that, they also want to do something big. They also want to be the doctor that gets paid the most, the guy who graduates with a business degree and works for Goldman Sachs or Chase Bank or a big company or something like that. Everybody wants to be big at something. Now, statistically, that's impossible. Not everybody can be the biggest at something. There's always someone who has to work at a lower level than everybody else. The thing is, though, this isn't a pessimistic video. This isn't saying that you're guaranteed to fail at anything you do because someone's always going to be better. That's the pessimist way of looking at it, and for the past couple of years, I've decided to err on the side of optimism instead. Because when it comes to optimism, you might as well look at the brighter side of what could be, and then be you might as well look at the brighter side of what you can possibly achieve rather than the negative side of how terrible everything could also be. Now, my perspective here is that since everybody wants to be big in something, but it's impossible for everyone to be the best, what can you do? Two things. What can you do to edge yourself towards being one of those top people? And what are the things holding you back from that? And today, I'm going to be talking to you about all the reasons that I'm going to be held back from being successful at YouTube and any other of my entrepreneurial endeavors that I want to do in social media as well. Now, I'm going to list these out to you so I can be completely transparent and not hide anything, because that's the whole point. I feel like that's the whole point of my channel. Me being transparent with the things that I've learned and then passing it on to you guys. That's what I've done with my fitness stuff, my self-improvement stuff, all that kind of stuff. So the first reason off the top of my head that I will not be successful in this venture, YouTube, is that I'm lazy. I've been a lazy person for about as long as I can remember. Now, you might think that it's a bit harsh for me to label myself as a lazy person, but time after time, I have proven to myself that the habits that I put in place only contribute, or at least the negative habits that pop up time and time again, always contribute to me being lazy in some sort of way. And I don't know if I'm an outlier in terms of sheer laziness, because I feel like I'm uniquely lazy. Like I work less than everybody else, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's just me if that's actually true, or if just nobody else admits it, but I feel like I'm lazier than everyone else. This especially showed up to me in school, because people would always talk about, like, let's say we'd have a project that's due 2 weeks from now, and the first week, not everybody's really doing something except the really, really hardworking people in the class that always want to get their 100, want to get their A. I'm not saying anything bad about them. That's very good. You might have, if you were a kid who didn't get great grades in school, you probably made fun of those people for being the tryhards or the people who are doing too much. But to be honest, having a work ethic that makes you want to do everything ahead of time before everyone else, bro, that's how you win, honestly. But what I noticed about myself is I would spend the last 2 days, the night before the last day that it was due, I'd be like, all right, so when I get home tomorrow from school, I'm going to work hard on this project and I'm going to get it done. And I would. On the last day, when I have 14 days to do it, I would spend the last 6, 7, maybe 8 hours to do a project. I'd go to bed at 2 or 3, 4 in the morning when I had to wake up at 6 a.m. for school. I would do this to myself. I'm a serial procrastinator. I save a lot of things to the last minute to a point where it's shocking. And this has been throughout my entire school career. It's part of the reason why I don't think I enjoyed college that much, although I don't think I enjoyed college that much, mainly because I was socially inactive. And social activity is a big part of, I guess, people enjoying college, as far as what people say. So that is the first reason why I think I'm not going to be successful. My laziness and procrastination is, I'm thinking it's likely going to be my downfall. If let's say a scenario 2 or 3 years from now where, you know what, I go back to school and the YouTube stuff didn't work out, social media it didn't really work out, and I decide to get a job and be depressed for the rest of my life. Well, I doubt that's going to happen, but the being depressed, obviously we don't want that. But you get what I mean though, right? Am I making sense here? Like, the sheer amount of procrastination that I do, and when it comes to YouTube especially, it's strange. I have to be honest, it's kind of strange, because I enjoy doing the YouTube. I'm enjoying doing this right now. I'm like liking talking to the camera, always having something new to say, just to get it off my chest. But the amount of mental strain that it takes me to simply turn on the camera, to set up the tripod, turn on the light, and then turn on the camera is insane. Matter of fact, my battery is actually about to die, so I'm gonna put my phone to charge real quick and I'll be right back. Oh, bro, is it really upside down right now? That's crazy. Alright, so where was I? Procrastination when it comes to videos. If I was honest with you, on all the occasions that I could have recorded 2, 3, maybe 4 YouTube videos, and I decided to just sit on my computer and watch YouTube, watch Twitch, or I don't know, just waste time on my phone or what have you, it would be embarrassing, honestly. I can only imagine the amount of times between my most viral video, which I don't think I've spoken to you. I don't think I've spoken on YouTube about this. My most viral video is called How to Grow Taller. That is so embarrassing. I have to be honest, that is the most embarrassing thing about my channel. It's honestly embarrassing that a video titled How to Grow Taller is my most popular video. That's what people know me for. If the majority of my subscribers subscribed, I'm guessing because they saw that video. It has like 170,000 views. I don't want to be that guy. I do not want to be the how to grow taller guy. Everybody on YouTube who's made it successfully in some sort of community or has made a large community around them is a something guy. You know, there are plenty of content guys. There's plenty of reacting guys. Let me give you a good example. Hamza, one of the biggest not even up and coming anymore. He's well established at this point. He's one of the biggest self-improvement YouTubers and fastest growing, if anything. Hamza is the self-improvement guy who's real, who's honest. He gives you the tough cut, unfiltered videos. He gives you his honest answers from his own experiences, and that's refreshing to a lot of people. It's refreshing because when you look up self-improvement YouTube, when you look up self-improvement YouTubers, the majority of the videos you see is like the minimalist design bedroom and their house is like modern or whatever, and then they're like 10 tips for productivity, and they're in like a coffee shop with their laptop and like a thing of coffee. They're like, these are the 3 productivity tactics I use to boost my work, and they're always on like a laptop or something. Watching Hamza is refreshing because he's kind of like you. He appeals to teenagers who had low self-esteem, not generally attractive in their younger years. They feel like bad about themselves. And he was able to crawl out of that situation and build himself up to the level that he's at now. Now he's loved by thousands of subscribers and what have you. He's making a lot of money, and people love money. So he's that guy. Me personally, I do not want to be known as the how to grow taller guy. Honestly, I want to base my channel around self-improvement, but I want to get more into the fitness space. Because I know fitness is a super saturated space, but I don't see a lot of people talking about meditation and mental health in the fitness space. I do not see a lot of people talking about, I don't know. And I don't see a lot of people discussing like powerlifting and bodybuilding in the self-improvement space, which are 2 things that I'm interested in. So I feel like I can be the guy that merges those 2 things together and builds a community around that, because those are 2 of my interests for now. The thing is though, like, in order to become that guy, you have to put out content that's related to being that guy. You have to build a community who's also interested in that stuff, or get people interested in that stuff in order to become that guy. And my issue is I'm lazy. I don't put out content. When I have the opportunity to film at the gym, or have my friends around to film me doing deadlifts, doing squats, or just when I have ideas come to mind about I could put out this video right now. Yeah, that's really real. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to talk about that. And then what do? I don't make the video, and I go to bed at like 1 a.m, having wasted half of the entire day, free time, mind you, and literally just wasted. And I think that's one of the major reasons why I'm not going to make it successfully. I'm going to hit you now with the second reason why I don't think I'm going to make it. My circumstances. When you see a lot of, if you look on YouTube and you look up any sort of fitness influencer, my first thought comes to a lot of the old Gymshark influencers. So people like James English, Sush, Lex Little, those guys. If you don't know them, I'll probably link their channels or whatever, or put a picture. I don't want to edit this video at all, but just look up those names. You'll see what you see. James English, Sush, Lex Little, those guys. When you look at those guys and see kind of like their background, where they came from, how they started, I'm not gonna lie, their stories are inspiring. They were like, not necessarily the stories, but what they do is inspiring. It's like they're big bodybuilders with incredibly gifted genetics. They look amazing. They're lifting heavy weights. It's inspiring. But I know for a fact that a lot of those guys came from, and well, I don't know it for a fact, but I'm assuming, and this is a pretty well-based assumption, that a lot of those guys did not grow up in a very poor environment. A lot of those guys did not necessarily grow up with certain circumstances that other people grow up with. And I know this is coming off as like a victim mindset sort of thing, because there are certainly people doing worse than me right now who are likely working harder, but this is kind of me coping, okay? I understand that me complaining about my circumstances is not the best look, but it's the most honest look I can give, because I'm pretty certain that under different circumstances my life certainly would not be where it is right now. I've spent the last about 10 years, around the last 10 years living in a pretty low income area, for lack of better words. I've lived in a neighborhood that is not necessarily considered conventionally safe, if that makes sense to you. An inner city. That in itself makes it kind of difficult to do certain things. I don't necessarily have access to any like hardcore gyms that I could head to nearby. There's not really any sort of local community that I could reach out to that's interested in my interests, or at least I guess I haven't checked. But all I'm trying to say is sometimes I feel like other people have had it easier than me. And this is a pretty bad mindset to have, because honestly it is a bad mindset to have, but it's one I do have sometimes because I'm not perfect, I guess. But where was I going with this? My main point is a lot of the people you see in like YouTube in general, they come from decent backgrounds, like middle class sort of thing. And that coming from a middle class family, I'm assuming, affords you certain situations and circumstances that you would not necessarily have if you were growing up poor. That's what I'm gonna leave that at. And oftentimes if I'm stuck working, or I don't know, I have to do something that's related to that, I have to deal with a situation as a result of growing up poor, I realize, man, if I had grown up middle class or something, I would not have to deal with this. And that's another reason why that's another reason why I may not make it on YouTube. My circumstances may not make it viable for me to succeed. And also, not everybody loves the underdog, the guy who makes it out of poverty and stuff when they make it. Nobody necessarily cares about them when they're at the bottom. And I think that really sucks. But enough of the victim mentality stuff, because that's honestly a trash mindset to have. I personally think that it's a trash mindset to have. If you want to succeed at something, it's good to err on the side of positivity, as I said before. But I'm just blowing through water at this point. My voice is getting sore right now from all this talking. Another reason that I don't think I'm gonna make it, what would it be? People just might not care. People might just not care about what I put out. This is something that kind of scares me sometimes, because like, you could make an amazing YouTube channel, 200k subs and growing. You're putting on, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5,000 subs a day. You're going up. You're on the up and up. You don't see any end in sight. 10 years from now, where do you go? Is the channel still going to be there? Are people still going to care about who you are? Are you still going to be making money? And that's something I've had to battle with mentally a lot. Even though I'm not even there yet. I'm at 4,000 subscribers. But I don't make money from YouTube. I hope you understand that. The money I make would not be able to even cover food. Would not be even able to cover food for a month. So, honestly, if I'm being honest here, I've had to think about that. What the prospect of going to college, the idea of going to college and getting a job that's secure for X amount of years, let's say 20 or 30 years, it seems like so dreadful to have to be locked into some job that you don't like for how many amount of years. But what's the alternative? You go on the internet and make it for a certain amount of time, and then what? How many people who are on the internet 10 years ago are still relevant now? What percentage of them? How many people who had 200,000 subscribers in 2012 are still relevant now? You're gonna name a few because they're the outliers, but how many of them? But how many of the thousands of people who had 200K subscribers in 2012 are still relevant and making money and have a livable situation currently because of their online money making, whatever they're doing? My guess is not many. Obviously, this is another pessimist thought. All of these reasons that I'm listing are going to be somewhat pessimistic because these are the creeping thoughts that sneak up on me whenever I think about, hey, I might actually fail at this. So that's kind of my question. The only way to necessarily be set for life, if you want to put it that way, is, I'm guessing, to make a business out of whatever you're doing. Make some sort of business that's going to last. And if the business doesn't last, make enough money while you are running that business that you can put it away and invest it in stuff and be safe for the rest of your life. This is something that scares me because it's like, yeah, I could be making 200K a year from now until I'm like 28. But what about when I'm 38? Am I still going to be making that much? But honestly, I feel like if I'm making 200K a year by the time I'm 28, I'll already have it figured out how to continue making money. So it's kind of one of those thoughts that stops you from wanting to reach your goal. It's like I mentioned in a previous video, it's an anti-goal. It's like, well, if I get up to here, what do I do after that? Like, bro, get up to there first and figure it out. So I think the moral of this video, which I've come to just now, is that pessimistic thinking is probably the number one reason why I won't succeed at YouTube. Having an overall pessimist attitude towards anything you want to achieve in the future is probably the main reason why you won't achieve anything in life. And this is me talking to you now. You want to become something big too. Stop lying, bro. Don't lie. You don't want to be a regular 9-to-5 accountant. You want to be rich, okay? You want to be rich. And if not rich, you want to have financial freedom to where you can go to vacation whenever you want. You don't want to work at your accounting job all day. Stop lying, bro. And how are you going to do it? How are you actually going to do how are you going to reach your being big at something? I always had this thought in high school that, it was a strange thought, honestly. Every year throughout high school, every couple weeks, this thought would come into my mind that senior year, something would magically happen to where I'd be like crazy rich. Like my family would win the lottery or something, or I'd have a crazy business. Damn. So I would always think that something crazy is gonna happen by the time senior year comes around. I'm gonna be rich, bro. I'm gonna be rolling up to school senior year in some crazy car. I'm gonna be rich, bro. I'm gonna be loaded. Everyone's gonna like me. Everyone's gonna be friends with me, and I'm just gonna be that guy. Because something happened out of the blue, and hey, I'm rich now. Obviously, that never happened. There was no day in senior year where I rolled up in a Lambo because something fell, because $10 million fell out of the sky and decided to bless me. And I think that's one of the important things to know. The chance, there is no chance that something will magically happen to you that is going to change your life to the point where you're going to be that guy. All right? I don't even know how to word this, honestly. But, like, the only way to reach that, honestly, is to do something. You have to do something. Whether that's become a crazy good, top-rated athlete, get drafted, and now you're making crazy money in some sort of sports league. Start performing, start singing or something, start rapping, and you get noticed on TikTok, you get noticed on YouTube or whatever, and you got some crazy, start making crazy money off of shows and concerts and stuff. Or you run some sort of, or you work hard towards running some sort of business or something to where you start scaling your income and it gets higher and higher and higher to the point where you're making millions a year. Honestly, if you're not born into a rich family off the jump, that's the only way I can think you're gonna make it in a reasonable amount of time. Your other alternative is to go to school and compete for internships, compete for a job where you're gonna be working pretty long hours, and you might not even enjoy it. And I guess that's kind of the reality. If you want to reach any point of success in life, you're gonna have to work for it. That's something I have to remind myself of too. Whenever I catch myself being super lazy and pessimistic about what I'm working on, which is mainly YouTube. Without work, you're not gonna reach any sort of goal. That's my main example for the merits of hard work in almost all my YouTube videos is the gym. And I'm gonna always, bro, you're probably tired of me saying the gym. When you work out, it's fulfilling and you work hard and you put in the work. The gym. I'm gonna keep saying that. I guess because it's my only example of how hard work can get you to some level of success. And not necessarily success for me, it's just personal success. The achievements I've reached with my body and my body image, and how I feel about what I look like, because I'm proud of that. But I have been working out for the past 2.5 years. I've been taking it seriously for the past 2.5 years, committing to bulking, committing to cutting to look shredded and ripped or whatever. That is the number one thing I've committed myself to. It's been very difficult. It's hard work. There's days you don't want to go at all. For example, yesterday I did not want to go in the slightest, but I still had a solid chest day. But I think the moral of the story is any sort of thing you want to reach some sort of levels of success and fulfillment with yourself, you're going to have to work hard for it. And the good thing is humans have an innate desire to work at something. Now, I'm not saying you have an innate desire to sweep the floors at Starbucks. But your innate desire is to work towards something. If you're not working, bro, I'll challenge you to this. This Saturday, the coming Saturday, or whatever day you have off from work or school, whatever, spend all day at your computer and eating snacks. Spend all day eating snacks or whatever, order some Uber Eats, get some McDonald's, and just sit at your desk all day or on your phone all day, secluded from everyone, not talking to anyone, and just sit there and eat your comfort food and your snacks. Sounds great, right? Now nobody's bothering you, and you have your snacks all to yourself, and you can binge your favorite TV show. See how you feel after that day, at the end of that day when you go to bed. You're gonna feel like crap. You're gonna feel horrible about yourself. You're gonna be like, wow, I'm such a slob, bro. I literally just wasted this entire day doing nothing but sitting down, eating snacks, sitting at the computer, scrolling on TikTok through my phone like a zombie. What was the point of that? The reason why you feel like a slob after those days is because you have a desire to work towards something that fulfills you. It's just that in the moment, doing something that you work toward that fulfills you is kind of hard. Kind of like me turning on the record button for this video. You don't want to initially do it because you know it's going to be somewhat difficult or challenging. That's why people don't go to the gym. That's why people go to the gym for 2 weeks on their New Year's resolution and then they give up. Because every single day they wake up dreading not wanting to go. They don't think about the end result where they are super proud of their achievement, going and working on their body and wanting to go to the gym for the rest of their life. I've reached the point, for me personally, where I understand that by the time I'm 65, I'm still going to be working out. I've come to terms with that. That's going to be who I am. When I'm 75, I'm still going to be working out. That's never going to change. And I've come to terms with that because I've been going for 2.5 years and I've loved what's happened so far. And also I've seen the results. Seeing results is honestly a great thing. But when you don't see results and then you have to end up going back to it again, so that would be a good example of my first couple months on YouTube. Actually, no, I'm an outlier for my first couple months on YouTube. Fortunately, I have not a lot. I would say I have about 200 plus followers on Instagram and friends who would be willing to support my videos. I have a small group of friends that, they're supportive of my channel. And I think that without them, my first video would not have gotten, I think, 100 views on the first upload. Even though I was incredibly proud of that. That's still not great numbers, but if I would have gotten 3, 2, 5 no views on my first 10 videos, I probably would have given up. I think I'm a very fortunate outlier to have gotten, 100 views in my first video. But then the following videos got like 12, 20, 17 views in like the first week, month, 2 months, 3 months. But then I just kept making the videos because I guess I enjoyed it. Had I not seen any progress with like my first video that blew up, I guess I probably would have quit. But that's the thing. Without seeing the actual progress you've made, you're likely gonna quit. So set goals and don't expect too much out of those goals, honestly. I feel like I'm rambling at this point, so I'm thinking of cutting the video at this point. So take from that what you will. Those are the reason why I think I'm gonna fail at YouTube. I hope we don't. But shoot, that depends on how many people watch this video. See how much support we get for this. And also, bro, I don't know why you're still watching. The video got boring like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. But if you are still watching, please let me know if you want to see more of these unfiltered, unedited videos where you can see me stutter and mess up my camera in real time, because I doubt I'm gonna edit this video. And yeah, if you do actually, bro, why are you still watching, bro? If you do still want to see more videos like this, where I just sit down and talk, I guess you could just listen to it like it's a podcast or something. let me know. I'll make an entire tab on my YouTube channel called Unedited. It's going to be in all caps, Unedited. And I will post on there purely unedited videos where I just talk. And yeah, I guess that'll be fun. Remember, winners win, losers lose. Go be a winner today. Did you know I stole that quote